Hey there friends, it's Dominique from the Pixie Planner. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. So what I'm going to be doing is walking you through my setup for January, and this is going to be very new for me. If you've watched any of my other budgeting videos, you'll know that I have been budgeting by paycheck this past year. And so that means every time I get a paycheck, I go ahead and I set up a new budget. I do get paid twice a month. And so what I'm attempting for the month of January, though, is to do my budget by the full month. So I'm not breaking it up per paycheck. So how I'm making that happen is I have a 1 month fund set up, so like a 1 month ahead set up in my personal savings account that I am going to be transferring over the 1st of January to my checking account. So that way I have the full amount of my bills that I'll be paying and any extra, personal home stuff that I'll be paying will be already in my account on the 1st of January. Now, it's very different for me because I usually budget by paycheck, which means when I get one paycheck, I write out my bills that are to be paid with that paycheck and I bring my account down to 0. Then I start again my next paycheck. So one of the reasons why I decided to try budgeting for the full month is I sometimes would get a little bit nervous having just the paycheck amount and then 0 balance and then again waiting for my next paycheck. So even though I have a good savings account set up, I still have been kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So with my full month of bills already saved up and ready to be transferred into my checking account on January 1st, I have that money ready to go. I don't have to sit and wait for my paycheck to show up in order to pay that bill. So this is something that I am testing out this month. I don't know if that was a little confusing for you guys, but if so, comment down below. Maybe I can explain a little bit better. So for this month, that's how I'm going to be doing my budget. I don't know how this is going to work for me. I hope it'll work out great because it sounds like it's a great method to where I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. So if I am doing that, that means when I do get my paycheck on the 10th and on the 24th, that amount from both paychecks will go into my savings account. So that way I am building my next 1 month kind of fund for the month of February. So that way when February 1st comes around, these 2 paychecks will be then transferred into my checking account so that way I can pay my bills for the month of February. So you're living off of last month's income when you're prepping for the following month. Again, I can go into more detail in another video even. I found this a little bit tricky and confusing for myself at first, but because I had never budgeted before, I was just someone who kind of knew how much money I needed in my account and paid my bills just in that manner, but it did not help me at all with saving like I have been doing in the past year. I've really been able to build a tremendous savings account, and so budgeting has been a massively important tool for me to use in my life. So as you can see here, I have some stickers laid down. Now these stickers are from, I'm just going to move this out of the way so it's not glaring at you guys. These stickers are from Sara Marie, and she has an Etsy shop, and I'll show you here. I have green for income, I'm using gray for unbudgeted, Yellow I had as gas, but I decided, you know what, I don't usually buy that much gas, so, or fill my car up that often. So I went ahead and I put that as home. So anything that I buy for the home, whether it be cleaning supplies, if I am purchasing like any kind of decor for the home, things like that, I'm going to be using for the yellow. And then pink is going to be for food, purple for personal, and then blue is going to be for my bills. And that is what you see here. I already laid out my bills that I have coming up for this month, and I will go ahead and fill out the amount once I have received that bill or once I've paid that bill, and then check it off again once it's paid, so I know I don't have to think about it again. So that is what the monthly setup is going to be looking like. Anytime I am purchasing my groceries or going out to eat or buying anything for myself, I am going to be putting it on this monthly layout. And I have here in my weekly check-in those same categories where I spend the most money. So home, personal, food. So that way I can go ahead and keep track of how much I have left that I've allotted myself for the month, because I do have separate checking accounts for home, personal, and food instead of doing cash envelopes. I just feel safer that way. I am one who does not like carrying cash, or at least a large amount of cash like that on hand. I've had bad luck in the past. So this is what's been working for me. So since these are my main spending accounts, I am going to be keeping track of that for each day. And I just have here a little Erin Condren greeting card, just washi at the top. I am soon going to be purchasing one of the snap-in coils, and I'll laminate this so that way it just stays in better condition and I can continue to reuse it. So with all of that being said, I am going to go ahead and fill in my January budget here. So this is not going to be staying the exact same month to month, because when it comes to variable and fixed, I should have put some of these variable ones under fixed. But again, because I'm still trying to figure things out, I'm just going to leave it as is, and then next month tweak things a little bit again. And just for, my family's privacy, I am not going to be filling out our income. And I know some of you guys will be bummed about that, but I feel for myself, I do need a little bit of privacy when I'm sharing my budget with you guys, but I will make sure to fill everything else out here, and then I will in another video walk you through my weekly check-in. So at the end of the week, I will probably do another video showing you how this worked out for me. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to be filling out my budget. So let's do a quick run through here. So on the left hand side, you can see that I have my variable expenses, then my fixed expenses. Now for the next months following up, I am going to be moving some things over to fixed expenses, like the Artful Agenda. That's an app that I've been using for my calendar and to-do lists, and that's always $3.99. So I'll be moving that over to this side later on. And then as far as my Verizon bill, it changed this month. This is our cell phone, but it will be staying the same for the following months. So I'll be moving that over to fixed expenses at a later time as well. And so just to kind of talk you through here, so savings deposits, I always put my savings deposit under variable because it does change month to month depending on how much extra I'm wanting to put in my savings. The savings deposit is something that I treat as a bill. So what I was doing with every paycheck, I was dedicating $150 to my savings account and I treated it as a bill. So I'm going to continue doing that. So I put $300 then for the month. My subscriptions, I have 2 subscriptions that are coming out this month. One of them is going to be from a skincare line that I use, and it's a 6-month kind of setup that I have. And then the other one is my Amazon Prime, which is just a once a year thing. So those 2 subscriptions are going to come out to be about $200. And for my sinking funds, I want to plan for $500 into my sinking funds this month. I am not putting an amount for unbudgeted because I'm not expecting to have anything, but at least I will be able to put in the actual amount if I do have anything there. I give myself each month a total of $300 for personal expenses. And so these, again, are my 3 checking accounts that I have that I treat as my cash envelopes. So that amount is going to be for my own personal use. You know, like for example, if I want to purchase a lipstick from Walmart, it'll come out of that. Food is going to be for groceries and eating out. And then home, I went ahead and I wrote in $50 because that will be for like if I need to purchase any cleaning supplies or paper towels, toiletries, anything kind of like that we use within our home, my husband and myself. So for variable expenses, this is what I have so far. And then my fixed expenses, mortgage is always the same, gym membership always the same, auto, TubeBuddy, Apple, Acorns. My cushion, that will probably go under variable next time because it does occasionally change. Now, the cushion is because I don't like to have my bank account at 0. I give myself a little bit of room there so that way if there's anything unexpected coming out of my account, I don't have to worry about overdrawing. So I give myself a little bit of a wiggle room. Now, because I am doing my monthly setup off of my paychecks from December, I don't know if the cushion is necessarily going to be needed like it was the previous months, like last year when I was doing paycheck to paycheck. So I'm just gonna kind of see how that works out for me and if I want to continue to make use of having that kind of little buffer. Now, the Pets Best is my pet insurance, stays the same. Disney Plus stays the same each month. So that is the breakdown of my bills and how things are going to be set up for the month of January. Again, this may be all over the place right now, but got to start somewhere. And as I go through the months, I know it's just going to be easier and easier for me to figure out how to do this monthly budget process versus the paycheck to paycheck. Now, I will also quickly show you my setup for the back pages. And so I already started kind of brainstorming for sinking funds, how much I wanted to have as my yearly goal, my due date for, and the monthly amount that I will need to put aside every single month in order to reach my yearly goal. So I'm still kind of thinking on a few of these, but I've started that whole process. And then my subscriptions. So as I mentioned, I have 2 subscriptions coming out this month. And so I have my skincare subscription and the Amazon. So I have the dates that the subscription is coming out, whether it's an annual, quarterly, or a monthly cost. So I have that broken down, because I don't know about you guys, but anytime I subscribe to something, I always forget whether it's monthly, quarterly, yearly. I forget the date that it comes out, the cost. So, and these things creep up on you. I've had it happen so many times where I will totally forget that I had a subscription, and then the next thing I know is a chunk of money has been taken out of my account because it's automatic withdrawal. So this will kind of keep all of this at the front of my mind, so I'm not forgetting about it. I have my donation section here, then my medical, car maintenance, home maintenance. Fabian delivery is our propane, our heat, and that is it for now. But I went ahead and I set up these big areas, and what I think I'm going to do for the other pages is for sinking funds, I want to keep track of, I want to be able to see the whole year on one page. So January, what I started with, what I ended with, and whether I withdrew any or used any of it. So I'm going to try to figure out a way for me to break my sinking funds down into monthly so I can see it all on one page. So that is it for my setup in January, guys. Now, as I mentioned, I will pop on next week and run through my weekly check-in for you. This will be my first week of making use of the monthly page here, keeping track of my expenses. And I've never done weekly breakdown before or a weekly check-in. I always just kind of had a running expense tracker, but I think it'll be really nice just to see week to week, how are you spending your money? What are you left with? So you're just kind of staying more mindful about your spending versus just checking in following each paycheck you get. So that'll be the next video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too confusing explaining how I'm changing from the paycheck budget to my monthly setup here. Again, if you have any questions, let me know down below. And as always, I appreciate you guys so very much, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Bye.